Now, do we have sound? Sound. Got sound. Alrighty. This is my first ever live, so forgive me. Give me 1 second here. Okay, this is my first live, and I am using StreamYard since that seems to be what everyone uses. I've never actually used it before. I put it on a test run today on another account. Seems like it did pretty well, and it seems like it's doing pretty well now. Okay, this is an introduction for my channel and what it's going to be about. My first series of videos is going to be about the Summer Wells disappearance and specifically focusing on just clearing up some rumors, false information, crazy theories that have gotten out there, especially where those things hurt the case. Like, for instance, we had the whole thing about the red truck. Uh, it took one person somewhere to say that that truck had been found and was cleared from the investigation, and everybody stopped looking for it. And it turns out the authorities are actually still looking for that truck. Well, there are a lot of other things that have been said concerning the case um, that may or may not be true, may or may not be factual. I know that I've seen myself where some interviews have been misquoted, um, and then people run with it. Uh, I'm not here to defend anyone. I'm not here to say, oh, Don's not guilty or oh, Don did it. I'm not here to say either way about Candace or Candy or anyone else who may or may not be involved. I'm simply here to just, I feel like I need to add my voice to the mix to help keep information clear and factual. Um, because at the end of the day, a little girl is missing. I don't know, probably the majority of people who have been following this case have children of their own. And I know I have children, and I can't imagine what I would do or how I would feel if my child were missing. Um, to be totally honest, for the simple fact that none of us really knows what's happened, in my mind, in my personal opinion, I have to try to keep my mind set to not laying blame or accusing the parents because there's really no clear evidence either way. I, again, I'm not here to defend either of them. I'm just here because I feel like in order for Summer to be found, whether it's a rescue or whether it's a recovery, the only way for her to be found is with truth and with facts. Excuse me. The only way that she's going to be brought home in either case is for everyone to have the right information. And as it says in the description, I think everything else, the rumors, the false accusations, the theories, the what ifs, and all that stuff is just a distraction and it takes the focus off finding Summer. I mean, there are countless ways that things could have gone, but we can only really judge right now based on what we actually know, what law enforcement has said, what has been verified in the media, in news articles, um, what we can see and hear from social media posts from various people, whether it's Don or it's Candace or it's a family member. Um, that's all we can really go off. Anything else is just it's just guesswork, and I don't think it does any good towards helping to find out where Summer is and what really happened to her. Uh, in the first video that's going to be posted at 3 a.m., I'm going to start out with a look at the initial uh, reports that came out about Summer. And after we just get a little bit of background on that and get a solid basis for what law enforcement originally said about this incident, what information they originally put out there, we'll go ahead and jump ahead to the first interview that Don and Candace gave. I'm sure we're all familiar with it. The two of them sitting outside. I believe they were outside of their home. There was confusion over in that interview who had shaved Summer's hair and different things like that, and who said certain things. So I think that that interview bears exploring and discussing. And since I am new to this, I don't know really what the time limits are on live streams. So I'm going to try to keep this uh, first video that I bring out at 3 a.m. I'm going to try to keep it to an hour or less. So we won't cover a whole lot. Actually, in any of my videos, because I don't want to put so much information into a video that it just becomes a jumbled mess of words. I want to, whenever I do these videos in this series, I want to cover one, at most two things, two interviews, two news articles, two, just two things, two or three things, never like 4 or 5 different things. I don't want to jump all over the board from, something that was brought up at the beginning of the case and something else at the end of the case unless it's directly related, but I don't want to just throw stuff out there. Before I end this little intro, I want to give some shouts out to some channels that I really enjoy. Their links are in my description, and I really think you should go and check them out. They have all different styles of presentation. For the most part, they cover true crime. Some of them cover some other things too. And within there, I think anyone watching this will find someone whose content they enjoy and they can relate to. And they may even want to like, share, and subscribe to these other channels. Stop the Madness, Crime News. I love him. He just did Madness 100 during the month of July. So he has at least 100 brand new videos up that you can watch. And you can explore the madness with him. Madness, Duty Ron, True Crime. I know you have to be familiar with him. Retired detective out of New York, years of experience. He brings great experts and professionals to the board to discuss cases. He's doing amazing things in trying to help with the search for Orrin and Orson, also known as Classic and Sincere, the California City Boys, and getting to the bottom of that. He uses donations to fund a billboard out there or several billboards out there to keep those boys' faces front and center to the public. And I have nothing but respect for him. Another channel that he is closely tied to is Police Off the Cuff, another a band of retired law enforcement officers from various branches of service, from federal, state, local, different branches, and they bring years of experience. And I love to listen to them discussing um, current events that are in the news now, um, procedures, experts coming in and explaining things that we as the general public might not necessarily understand. Since we don't have that training, we don't have that experience. Uh, and since law enforcement and crime and justice is really not like your favorite police drama, then it's good to get that reality, that realistic point of view from people who have done this for so many years. Uh, Web sleuths, I absolutely have to name them. I have been a member on the website for quite some time now. I love how they present information. I love how they have very strict rules for what can be posted on the website, what you can and can't say or share. Uh, the utmost respect is given to the family of victims and the victims. Uh, so go over there and check them out. Almost any missing persons case that you want to get the real facts and a good, open, and honest discussion on, you'll find it more than likely on Web Sleuths. Um, there's a page there for Summer Wells. There is actually even a page that's been up there for years for her missing aunt Rosemarie. I've seen cases from my hometown that were that are still being discussed on there. Missing people who ended up being found uh, deceased. Uh, just if you have a chance, go over to Web Sleuths and check out their website. Check out their YouTube channel. No Thanks Investigates. I love this guy. He is 100% just straight up. He is just a natural person, and I love that. Uh, it's just watching his videos. It's just like, you know, having a chat with a friend about this topic. He doesn't pretend to be anything that he's not, and I absolutely, as I said, I love that. I could watch him all day. Hi, Doug. I am a fan. I love your impressions. Uh, and I think I shouted out Icket Mel. Yes, I did. I found him during the Malia Davis, Don Buchanan. He is relatively new, but I love his down to earth perspective. I love that he presents information as it comes in. He gives it basically blood raw. Um, and if he messes up and he puts out something that didn't quite come out the way it was supposed to, he is not afraid to come back and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I said this wrong. I don't want you to have the wrong information. I don't want rumors or whatever to get started." That he will clarify whatever mistake he made. I love that because a lot of times you'll find where it's big headlines and everybody talks about it when a person is accused of something, and everyone is quick to share all this so-called information. Um, but then if it turns out that that person isn't guilty, they didn't have anything to do with it, you might get a little blurb in the newspaper. There's nowhere near that coverage. There's nowhere near that responsibility, for lack of another word, responsibility on the part of the media, content creators to come back and say, "Hey, I was wrong. That we bashed this person, we degraded this person, and they did absolutely nothing wrong." So Don Buchanan, he is just a real down to earth guy, and I really enjoy his content. Go and check him out. Tiffany Marie, of course, always non biased. I love that about her. She is just so laid back and calm, always very respectful, even when she doesn't agree with something that's being said by another panelist on her show or on someone else's show. Uh, she tries to get good, clear information verified from reliable resources, and I love her. Tiffany Marie, go check her out. Last but not least, the interview room. I've been enjoying watching his videos, especially his coverage of and his interviews with people involved in this Summer Wells case. Um, I think he asks good questions. He does a good job of drawing people out, getting them to talk more, to open up, to feel comfortable, you know. And the only way that anybody is ever going to say anything in Summer's case or anyone else's case is they have to feel comfortable. The truth is, I'm not going to tell you anything about myself if I don't feel comfortable with you. You know, I don't care who you are. Doctor, I don't care. I'll find another doctor. If I don't feel comfortable with you, I'm not going to talk about my personal issues, my personal needs with you. So he does a really good job of just getting people in that zone and in that space to where they'll open up and they'll talk to him. You know, um, he's really good at picking up on BS and kind of drawing that out. You know, the head scratcher parts. So I just really like his style. And I love to hear no thanks. Do an impersonation of him. Do it, Daddy. All right. Well, I'm gonna end this live because this is really just an introduction for my channel and for this particular playlist. I don't really know how many videos are gonna end up being in this playlist. And you guys have to excuse me if I'm not speaking loudly enough. Hit something in the comment. Let me know so that I know for when I go live uh, later on. Everybody in the house is asleep. I'm trying to keep my voice kind of low. But yeah, I don't know how many videos I'm going to end up putting in this playlist. I just want to cover the truth in this case and to make sure, like people aren't running wild with rumors and lies that could end up being harmful to this case, like the red truck incident was, because this little girl needs to be found. If she is still with us, she needs to be brought home. She needs to be cared for, attended to, taken care of for whatever she's been through. If she is no longer with us, then she needs to be brought home and laid to rest with dignity, properly. And we really need to get to the truth of everything in this case. Where did she go? How did she go? Who did it? Who took her? Where is she? What happened to her? Really need to know that for her sake, if nothing else. And I'm gonna end this. I hope to see you at 3. I'm not sure who that is. I see somebody's in the chat. Welcome. You're right at the end of my broadcast. I will be back at 3 a.m. with a much longer video where I dive into, I was saying earlier in this video, I'm going to dive into the rumors and lies and just misinformation that's been going around in the Summer Wells case. I'm not here to defend anybody in particular. I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want facts to be straight so that we can get a resolution for Summer one way or another, rescue or recovery. Please join me at 3 a.m. Please share the video. You don't necessarily have to like it or subscribe to the channel since I'm relatively brand new. But check me out at 3 a.m. See if you like my content, and let's go from there. Thank you for coming in on this broadcast. You can catch it all in the replay, and I will see you later.